Welcome to the Artefacto YouTube channel. Today, we're thrilled to present a masterclass by one of the world's most gifted watercolor artists. Please welcome Mikalla Jasiewicz.
I start with a solid blend of deep cadmium yellow that I apply to the top of the building. The color is rich and dense. I paint with rather quick and firm strokes. I avoid the places I want to keep for the lights and the openings through which the night sky will be visible. Now the first layer is dry, so I am starting with the sky. Once again, a rich mixture of cobalt, ultramarine, and some different kind of opaque light blues. I need a quite large amount of mixture because I have to cover a large area of the sky with a uniform wash. I try to work fast to keep the soft tonal transitions, and I cut around the shape of the building. Here is a little note. This is the opposite of daytime painting. When painting during the day, in most cases the roof line is darker than the sky. Especially for me, where most of my works are painted against the light. This makes the situation easier, because then I first paint the entire area of the sky from edge to edge, and only after it is dry, I put next darker layers of buildings or landscape on top. With the current theme, I have to avoid illuminated architectural elements, which makes painting the sky more difficult and challenging. Sure, you could use masking, but that's not my story. I prefer a more spontaneous effect. Moving down, I make the sky brighter to simulate a brightening over the horizon. I also cover the buildings a bit to better blend these two areas together. I still remember to keep some areas uncovered. On the horizon line I add some dark tones.
Hope you're enjoying this lesson. If you want to paint more under the guidance of Mikalla Jasiewicz, follow the link in the video description and sign up for his free webinar. See you there, and let's keep painting.
I'm moving down quickly. This stage is almost pure abstraction. I use warm tones and a wide variety of different brush strokes. Some parts blend together, others have sharp edges. I want to get the impression of reflecting car lights and building illumination in a smooth road pavement. In the foreground, I put a mixture of dark, cold and warm tones. I connect these areas with horizontal and vertical strokes. I'm going back to the building. First, I need to check if the sky is dry. I change the brush to a round synthetic with a perfect point. I put on a dark and rich blend, mostly burnt sienna and Payne's gray, and work all the way down gradually. I melt shapes with each other, still avoiding the lights. and it's ready.
Okay, well, I think there's a set of materials in description of the course,
Yes.
but maybe in short, good quality paper. I think the paper is the most important part as we're talking about technicals. I strongly recommend you to work with good quality cotton paper. It's maybe Fabriano Artistico, it's my paper, it's maybe Arch, it's maybe Sanders Waterford, or any pure cotton brand. So this is the most important part. And how about paints? It's up to you. They're not. I think most modern companies provide good quality artist's grade pigments. So it's not really important if you are working with Winsor and Newton or Sennelier or any kind of American brand like Core or like
Professional grade watercolor paints.
professional grade any companies will be fine. Brushes in general. I think a nice set of round brushes with a good point is the right starting point. You can use some flat brush as well. It's up to you if you like them. I think it's good to have some good flats on your desk. For example, remember that good brush doesn't mean an expensive brush. Most of my brushes are rather very cheap and basic. For example, this one. This is a synthetic brush. It's very cheap. It's €1 or €2 brush, but it has a perfect point and works excellent for me. So I really prefer to work with details with this kind of brush than with any kind of saber brush. So it's up to you, but I strongly recommend you to not buying the most expensive brush, at least for the beginning. As you realize, I use a lot of Chinese calligraphy brush. It's quite difficult to buy good quality because most of them can lose their hairs very easily, as you can see. But still, I like them for this kind of spontaneous broken edges. I think you can everything find in the descriptions of the course. But of course, if there are any specific questions, I'm for you all the time.
Yeah, wonderful. We have actually kind of just jumped into the Q&A session. So we have a little bit more than 10 minutes. So we'll see what we have time for, how many questions we can get through. And I also see that people are written in so many highlights. I like the trees, making them by scratching, and learned so much how he chooses reference photo, handling pigments and values, the importance of tonal values, the mix of hard and soft edges. So many comments. So thank you so much for sharing that, every one of you. And now we will start answering questions, and we will see how many we have time to answer. We have a question here. Okay. We have questions about the course. With lifetime access, I can do the course at any time and for any duration. Exactly, Malini. There is no end date at all. The only thing that has a time limit is the feedback from the curator. It's only within the first It says 90 days. I hope that's true. Sometimes it's 75 days. But anyways, that has a time, an end date. You can, however, pause it, but then you need to send an email and talk to our team about that. But the course content, yes, you will have access to them whenever you want, for as long as you want. So I like the different colors of snow, writes Birgit. We have Hattis writes, do we have to soften all the hard edges of the snow on the left part? Of course not, is my response. It's up to you. There are some people who just love hard edges, and there are some people who just love soft edges, and then there are the people who loves a mix. Is there anything you want to share about that, Michal?
So once again, can I?
You are just painting. I will just make myself small so that we can see your painting more instead of watching you and me. So let's move back to the painting. And is there anything that you are adding right now, Michal, while I was talking away?
I'm tweaking a bit the area of the trees. Probably it needs some more attention, some parts, and maybe add some more elements here. Maybe add some more colors, like some sparks of contrasts, pure orange or cobalt turquoise, to make it more vivid and more eye-catching.
Oh, nice.
Probably the area of the barn needs some more work. Maybe
Okay.
some more dark.
I'm just gonna answer a question from Francis. So I'm sorry for interrupting, but I don't want this question to go unanswered. There is info on the site when you're buying the course. It mentions that you can freeze the course. Freeze, what does that mean? So freezing means that you freeze, basically you are pausing so that the days of your feedback is not counted. So if you're like, oh, I don't have time to complete this in 3 months, could I please freeze it for 6 months? Then your starting date will instead be 6 months from now. And then you have the 75 or 90 days feedback time. So it's about freezing and pausing so that you can get the feedback later on. However, the course material will be lifetime access for everyone, both of the plans, both the standard plan and the premium plan. I hope that answered your question. Did he use masking fluid today? No, today you did not.
No, it's quite rare for me to use a masking fluid. Personally, I don't really like it. I know that there are some tasks that require it, but mostly I prefer to work with negative painting technique, cutting around the elements that I want to reserve as the whites, and also I prefer to add some bright marks with opaque pigments. It provides me a more nice effect than masking fluid.
Okay.
But I understand that some people prefer to do it with masking fluid. It's perfectly okay. It's only something works for you. Play with it.
Yeah, I love that answer. Shella writes, at what point do you feel that you have drawn enough branches? Because sometimes the reference photo has much more. And yes, the references often have many branches.
That's why I like to have a break. Sometimes maybe a day, it's maybe a week, it's maybe a year sometimes. But we need a time to let our eye rest, to look with the new eye for a painting, and it's much easier to us to decide if it's enough or not.
I have
There are not simple answer for this kind of question.
No, it's about feeling it. And now you've also added your signature to the right. Lower right
Yes,
side.
yeah, that's a very important part of the work.
Is there any tip you can share about where you place your signature? Where there's room.
You know, there are not simple answer, but you need to remember that the signature is a part of composition. So you need to choose the right place.
Do you
have
take
chosen
that
this
in
one because it
consideration?
was quite plain and without too many details. So I think it's a good place for signature. It's well balanced with the darker opposite side. So this is it.
And previously we received a question if you think about focal points when you paint. Like when you paint this, do you think about that there is a focal point?
I think about it when I choose the motif. Because I'm working almost exclusively with my own photos, because I consider choosing the motif, choosing the frame as the very important part of the work, maybe crucial part of the work. So pressing the shutter in my camera is the time when the main decisions are made. So taking photos, it's a great exercise in terms of composition, in terms of choosing the right elements, in terms of choosing the focal point, in terms of depth of field. And when we start to work with someone else's photos, we skip this very important part of the work. So choosing the right composition is in my opinion, is a crucial thing, and you can accomplish it at the very beginning when you choose the frame of your painting.
And we have a question.
Quite important, right? This area here in the center of the frame, the combination of a fragment of architecture, the slope and the river, the perspective of the river, the perspective of the path leading our eye into one point somewhere here. So this area is our center of interest.
Thank you. We have a couple of more minutes, so if you have a question, we might have time for it, but we might also not have time for it. So if you ask a question, we will see if we have time to answer it. We had one question previously about if you have any tips on how to practice working with a calligraphy brush or a rigger brush to create those branches and knowing, like trusting the hand. We had a lot of people who were very impressed by how you could draw several lines and they all were following the previous lines. Do you have any tips on that?
Just playing with it.
Just do it.
You can try to do like this. Put several points on your paper and try to connect them with one quick stroke. It's a very basic. Exercise for pre-drawing. Because, well, yes, we need to start with something different. A watercolor required a good trained hand.
Yeah.
So if you are a good drawer, you will be probably a good watercolorist. That's why so many architects become watercolorists, because the part of the educational process. It's a freehand drawing. So any exercise required freehand drawings is good for watercolor as a part of learning process. So draw a lot. You can draw with a pencil, you can draw line with the rigger, but do it all the time and you will be okay.
Thank you for that very pragmatic answer. And Martina writes, I am an architect too. So we have other architects in the chat. We had a question about the size of the paper that you have painted on. Do you know that?
It's
You know
half.
how big?
It's a half sheet. It's about 54 centimeters on 55.
Isn't it? Oh, so it's 54, 35, 30, 30 something. Okay, so half sheet, but a little bit shorter.
It's a half sheet, yes.
Yeah, perfect. So thank you so much for sharing all of the things that you have shared today, Michal. And thank you everyone who has participated today and being so active. And thank you everyone who supported each other with writing the things, the color choices, and just sharing about what paper and what colors, and just being supportive to one another. We're really grateful for those friendly support comments in the chat. And we are really excited for those of you who decide to join us in this course. And if you want to do that, make sure to do that today or tomorrow so that you get the bonuses. And yeah, we are just very happy that you have been here with us, and for all of your thank yous in the chat. That makes me happy. I will read some of them so that you know that they're there, Michal. We have Tanya writing these. And Doris says, thank you, Michal. Wonderful demo. Terina says, thank you, Michal and Hanna. Ivana, thank you so much. Thanks so much, Michal. True master. Thank you, Michal. Thank you both. Beautiful painting. Thank you, most interesting, great painting.
Thank you very much.
Amazing work, etc., etc., etc. Thank you for those beautiful comments and for spending these 2 hours together. And yeah, they keep coming in, and I hope that you are inspired to continue painting with this inspiration. And I am very impressed by how you, Michal, in basically one layer, just lay the foundation of everything, and then you just added the details. That was very, very interesting to see, very inspiring. Thank you so much, everyone, and we hope to see you again, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.
See you.